Hi, this is Star Fox making his debut on YouTube with a little video talking about the trailer for the new film The Hobbit. Now, this film is based on well, it's actually two films. The first one being released next year, based on the book by J.R.R. Tolkien. It was actually written before The Lord of the Rings, but well, I don't think that really matters right now. Anyway, I have to say the trailer did impress me. I'll start off with that. But I actually had a few problems with it. But let's just start off with the good things, okay? The trailer was well done. I really liked seeing the actors, and obviously the choices they've gotten are pretty impressive, if you ask me. Martin Freeman definitely seems to make a good Bilbo, especially since to me, he actually looks and sounds like a young Ian Holm, who is, of course, playing the older Bilbo. And I think the dwarves are pretty well cast. They at least look like dwarves, although Thorin may look more like a man, perhaps. And of course, Ian McKellen returns as Gandalf, so that's a good thing. And it seems to be having the same story. However, it also seems to be having more, if you ask me, a little too much more. If you may notice in the trailer, there's a scene where Bilbo notices the sword that cut off the hand of Sauron. That I don't think I've actually read the book. I don't think that scene's in the book. So here's what that one scene has actually told me. The Hobbit might just be like, well, might not just be that. It'll definitely get out the plot line of the Hobbit. But the thing is, the Hobbit might end up putting a lot of scenes that might be more making reference to the Lord of the Rings than to the actual plot line that we need to know. We all know what happens to the Lord of the Rings, unless we go into the Hobbit without seeing the Lord of the Rings. But then what happens to those people who haven't seen the Lord of the Rings? I mean, are they going to want to go see a film that just keeps referencing a film they haven't seen yet? I This is only a little minor worry, to be honest, but it's just that it seems this film has been said to have plenty of things that weren't in the book, but seem to be mostly in there because they were in Lord of the Rings. Kate Blanchett is reprising her role as Galadriel. I don't think Galadriel was in the book. Elrond was, not Galadriel. Maybe she could be taking his place in the film, but I don't know. As far as I know, she wasn't in the book, so I think that's a bit of a problem. Elijah was reprising his role as Frodo. Well, I think they said that part of the film was going to be Bilbo telling the story to Frodo, so that would be okay. I can live with that. But then I heard that Orlando Bloom is reprising his role as Legolas. Okay, Legolas is not in The Hobbit. He absolutely would have no part in The Hobbit. In fact, what would he do in The Hobbit? Well, I suppose they could always put him in, do some really cool moves in a fight scene or something, but I still don't know if it'll work. But hey, we could be surprised. I could be surprised at least. I mean, I don't think I've heard that much criticism against the trailer. Let's see what else. Well, obviously the finding of the ring and the encounter with Gollum, that was in the book anyway, so we don't have to worry about that actually. Um, but the trailer does look impressive, and the film, it's already gotten me excited for the film. I will say that. I did also really like that they had that scene. I really like the scene at the end where Gandalf says, "You'll have some stories to tell when you come back," and then Bilbo says, "Can you promise that I will come back?" And then Gandalf says, "No, and if you do, you won't be the same." That's actually a pretty good way of foreshadowing what will happen in Lord of the Rings. Even if we were watching this film before watching Lord of the Rings, I think it could actually work in this film. But who knows? It's just that there's a scene with Galadriel and Gandalf, and I don't think they interacted that much. Not that I remember. And I don't see any reason for them to have a scene. I don't even know what they're doing there. Obviously they're just talking. I just don't see there's just some things in there, not just that are shown in the trailer, but also from news I've seen of the film that I'm not completely sure why they're there. But who knows? I am still excited for this film, and I definitely plan on seeing it. Especially since I did like The Hobbit, and I actually like J.R.R. Tolkien's works. Well, The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. I haven't really gotten to anything else yet. I'm hoping to look into those. But anyway, the Hobbit trailer was pretty good. I really liked the song in it. That was actually quite impressive, and it didn't seem like a musical number or anything like that. It actually seemed like a nice song to put there, and I think it really worked pretty well. I think the song was in the book, but I'm not completely sure. I forgot. Anyway, the dwarves look unique as well. I'm glad they don't look like Gimli. And I think when I see the film and I am used to knowing them by their names, I'll actually be able to tell them apart. I think I remember being a little worried that they would be having pretty identical looking faces, and in the end, it'd be hard to actually tell them apart. I think I might have worried about that once, but I don't know. Who knows? It's been a while. Anyway, the Hobbit trailer has definitely impressed me and has gotten me hyped up. So, hopefully this will be a good film. I think Peter Jackson will do a good job. I'm surprised he came back to direct this, especially since he made it like very clear in plenty of interviews that he did not want to do a film project this big again. Although I didn't really think The Hobbit should be this big. Since The Hobbit is actually a bit more lighthearted than The Lord of the Rings, I kind of felt that it should be a smaller film, something just maybe one film with the story, with the characters, and it be just an adventure or something. Obviously, I think Peter Jackson might be trying in some ways to top Lord of the Rings. I don't know, and he probably isn't. I can be wrong. So anyway, I definitely plan on seeing The Hobbit, and I hope that it's good. So thank you for watching this, and I hope you like what I had to say.